because the refinery, it means the petrol refinery and all things. Refinery means you have to extract oil. Especially for the petroleum refinery, you have to extract the crude oil. The crude oil will be converted into petrol. That is petroleum refinery and all. Now here it will be biorefinery. You have to integrate biomass conversion process. You have to convert the biomass conversion process and it will produce fuel power from biomass. Think we have to know regarding that biorefinery. And also today is a lot of petroleum refineries are there, but there is no biorefineries there. Nothing is there. So we have to do something with the biorefinery. So that's why we have the two platforms, that is sugar platform and thermochemical platform. That is the two important platforms we have to look over. Yeah. First of all, we have to know what is how the biorefinery concept will work. The concept will work into two types. That is one sugar platform, that is biochemical platform, and the second one is sign gas platform, that is thermochemical platform. Yeah, first of all, the biochemical, that is platform. Sugar platform itself indicates that is biochemical. Yeah, the sugar platform is indicates biochemical. So during that sugar platform, you have to make a sugar feedstock as a feed material. You have to produce fuel, chemicals, petrols like that, like bioethanol, biomethanol like that. This fuel and chemicals in petrol. Afterwards, we look for the residues. Yeah, there is a lot of residues come from the sugar industry and all. You have to use the residues at a combined, that is cogeneration of heat and power. Afterwards, we go for the thermochemical conversion. Yeah, in the sense of thermochemical conversion, the sign gas platform, you have to produce producer gas or conditioned gas will be used, or also some fly ash biomass is there. Then we will go for the chemicals and materials. The clean gas will be used for combined heat and power. This is the two important platforms, that is sugar platform and sign gas platform. This is the two important platform we need to look over, especially for biorefinery concept. So after that, we have to move on to the biodiesel. Yeah, what is mean biodiesel? I don't know uh, how many of aware about the diesel, the manufacturing of diesel, and also who invented diesel first, and all things. Mostly, the biodiesel itself integrate it help to transforming fat, animal fat or vegetable oil. Respect to animal fat or milk fat, cow fat or vegetable oil, with some vegetable with oil are used to make a biodiesel. And also sometimes the rapeseed oil or soybean oil or this restaurant grease also we have to make fuel. Sometimes we have to substitute it for direct diesel. Yeah, substitute for diesel itself. Sometimes we have to use blending things to make a oxidative additive. Which is called biodiesel. And also modified waste vegetable fat. Yeah, especially designed for most compression ignition, most for IC engines. The IC engines mostly run with the respect to waste vegetable. It's a modified waste vegetable. It's not a waste vegetable. You have to modify the waste vegetable with respect to some processes or some reactions. But also the production of modified vegetable waste vegetable oil fluoridative process. And also sometimes we also make a greener form of fuel. The modified waste vegetable oil will be the greener form of the fuel. So we have to look over the modified waste vegetable oil. It's not a waste. You have to make something with diesel, clear fuels like that. You have to make and also run most of the compression ignition engines. You have to run most of the compression ignition engines. But also, you have to know about the e-diesel. Is what is meant by biodiesel and e-diesel. The biodiesel is the material you have to extract diesel from the animal fat or vegetable fat. But here, e-diesel itself indicates the word indicates ethanol. It's nothing but you have to blending the ethanol with the diesel. First of all, you have to prepare the ethanol. After the preparation of ethanol, you have to blending the ethanol with diesel. That is called e-diesel. E-diesel. Yeah. The e-diesel itself indicates that is use additives in order to allow blending of ethanol. The strength of ethanol blending nearly 7.5 to 15%. Sometimes the Indian government give do lot of things still up to 50%. And also sometimes we have very low temperature, water contamination occurs. Additives that prevent the ethanol and diesel from separating the vehicle. It will not separate due to it has a different chemical compound. It will not separate. It will mix up very easily to go for the e-diesel things and all. Mostly the e-diesel products like that, the ethanol produced from the crude crops like that comes under ethanol preparation. It will mix with the diesel. It goes called e-diesel, called ethanol blend diesel. Yeah, this is one of the important things. We go for a Jatropha. Yeah, Jatropha. The Jatropha itself indicates a biodiesel. In sense of, I already explained about the vegetable oil or animal fat. This is an example of the vegetable oil where you get. For example, the biodiesel from Jatropha. This the plant itself indicates the Jatropha. Jatropha having some seeds like this. Look at here. There's seeds of that. Using the seeds, we have to make the seeds. You have to crush the seed upper side. The most of the portion. Afterwards, the oil will be extracted by using the extruders or expellers. You have to extract the oil from the Jatropha plant. Yeah, well, the oil is processed as refined form biodiesel. Yeah. After the extraction of oil, you go for the some chemical processes. If you go for some chemical processes to form biodiesel, form biodiesel. This is one of the example of the Jatropha. Mostly in some of the renewable energy, in some of the renewable energy departments, we have a lot of Jatropha plants are in and that. With respect to how the motto of energy plantation, we have to plant only for the energy recovery. Plants for only for the energy recovery. There is no use of that plant. Yeah, Jatropha, first of all, we move to biofuels, this alternative fuel, and also we have to explain introduction about biofuel and all. It's a fuel produced from the organic production waste. Yeah, the biofuel is a fuel which is produced from the organic production waste. It is mostly the organic products like cow dung or the plants or plant residues, plant waste like that, and also waste. And also they call the most commercially used biodiesels. Yeah, the most commercially used biodiesel. I had explained that bioethanol, biodiesel, and the first one is biomethane. Yeah, bioethanol will be the sugar molecule content. You go for a fermentation reaction, you get the ethanol plus carbon dioxide. The sugar solution plus yeast, you have to go for fermentation, you get ethanol plus carbon dioxide. Afterward, the biodiesel is mainly extracted from the vegetable oil, algal lipids, or some animal fat. Because nowadays the biodiesel mostly extracted from the bioalgae. Instead of the algae or bioalgae, you go for the bioalgae. And also biomethane. I already explained about what is meant by biomethane and all. Biomethane can be produced from the waste organic material. Yeah, I already explained about the anaerobic digestion, anaerobic condition, the biogas production plants, and all things. After the production of biogas, the result material is biogas. But you have to purify the biogas. With respect, you have to separate the carbon dioxide, nitrous sulfide, all different separate after you do gas, not called biogas, biomethane. Contain only methane, also methane produces from the some biological process. That's why we call that it's called biomethane. First of all, biodiesel, bioethanol, and biomethane. After that, sometimes you get the biobutanol, like that thing comes around in and there. Then, first of all, we have a history regarding that biodiesel. We have a history how the biodiesel will made and all. First of all, in 1890, the Rudolf Diesel was the first person produced the biodiesel from vegetable oil. You have to make a clear sense before production of diesel, the biodiesel is produced. Before the fossil fuels come, the biodiesel will come. Look at the age, it's 1890. But also that's why the Rudolf Diesel, that's why the name diesel comes. He is the author of the biodiesel. That's why the diesel, the name will comes. And also in 1970, 1980s, Environmental Protection, that is EPA, that is the Environmental Protection Agency in America, they suggest because they already suggest because these biodiesels are free from sulfur dioxide, carbon dioxide, new nitrous oxide. But also after the 1970, 1998 only the Environmental Protection Agency you give you they give the permission to production of biodiesel commercial level. And also it will be the alternative source of petrol. Before petrol only, after the biodiesel only diesel will come into the matter. But also in 2010, the production of biodiesel will reaches up to 1.5 million liters. Liters worldwide. Afterwards, there's a European countries. We made a large impact in the biodiesel production. It's nearly the European country itself producing the world market with respect to 53 percentage of biodiesel market will be 53% of biodiesel market will be homemade. The biodiesel 53 of the biodiesel market will be done by European Union and also the Environmental Energy Agency set a goal to reduce the usage of petroleum and coal. And also the 2050 they have a motto of using of biodiesel will be 100% as a biofuels will be used in 2050. And also some European Union like Denmark, they mostly using the biodiesel. And also the name, I don't know how many of you are aware about the Brazil. The Brazil is one of the industry. Sorry, the Brazil is one of the country. This country made fully the using bioenergy to drive the buses in the country. And also, what are the biofuel feedstock? What are the feedstock we have? These are most important feedstock used for the manufacture of biofuel. That is cassava is called cassava and also palm oil. That is you have some idea, you have some doubt how the agriculture will come really important thing in the agriculture. A lot of organic waste is there. A lot of organic waste we have, like vegetable waste, fruit waste, lot of things organic content. By using that waste vegetables and waste fruits by to make some essential oils or to make some bio even the presence of ethanol production like that will make from that beetroot things all things beetroot waste like that you have to produce bioethanol from the those wastes. Also the cassava is one of the food crop and also animal fat. I already told about the animal fat. Instead of the cow fat or pig fat used to make a lightning. For a good example of the animal fat production, especially in discovery industry, I don't know how many of you are aware, how many of you seen that Man vs Wild. In Man vs Wild, they have some animal fat. They have some liquid type. It will dip into the one cloth and fire it and it will burn very nicely. The same happening in the biofuel. Yeah, afterwards, the important concept regarding the classification of biofuels. How the biofuels you have to classify because there's a lot of generations of biofuels are there. First generation biofuels is simply it's a conventional biofuels. Mostly the biofuels will be sugar, starch, or vegetable oil. This is the first generation biofuel. Okay, fine. We are already having the first generation biofuel. But why we go for second generation? We'll be having that one generation of fuel, but why we go for second generation biofuel? Yeah, I have answer for it. Because first generation biofuel full of sugar, starch, or vegetable mostly is the resource getting from the food crops like potato, beetroot, cassava, all the food crops. So our India, we don't have a food security now itself. Before sometimes we will get or not, but now itself, so there is a demand for the food crops. And also, no one is you or me, no one's ready to sacrifice your food for fuels. Even if you are alive without using the biofuels, without using the fuels, but you are not alive without using the food crops. So you have to change from one generation to another generation. We go for second generation biofuel. That is the main reason to jump from one generation to second generation. After that, the second generation biofuel, what you have? The most in second generation biofuel is the advanced biofuel. but also manufactured from different types of biomass. Yeah, the biomass like the wood, cellulose, straw, plastic waste is all comes under second generation biofuel. We have to produce from ignocellulosic materials like the sugar cane waste, and also sometimes go for a you have to produce fermentation process. You have to produce biofuel from second generation. Okay, we have second generation also. We don't have any problem with second generation. Then why we are going for third generation? Now, that's a main debatable question here. Why we go for second generation to third generation? Because the second generation full of plants, in the sense of full of trees, plants, and wood. That the second generation biofuel, what happens is tends to deforestation. It tends to deforestation because it makes the deforestation. So we go for the alternative things because the deforestation what happened there is a loss of biodiversity. There is a lot of things happening here and here. So we have to change it in that generation. Now what you have in that generation, yeah, that generation mostly the marine algae, and also by using the algae you have to extract the biofuel. The biofuel sense of the carbon rich fuel. I have a question. How the algae acts here? Biofuel. Because the algae, marine algae will be I don't know how many aware about the carbon capture or the carbon things. First of all, what happened? The marine algae will absorb all the marine algae will absorb all the carbon dioxide in the atmosphere, absorbed by all the carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. So the algae will be rich in CO2. So if you go for generation of biofuel, it will be very high. You just harvest the algae. You have to crush or compress or impeller the algae. You get some bio oil. The bio oil is used to generate the biofuels. And also, now these are the three. These are the one of the important. First of all, you have to know about the biofuel. You have to know about the generation of biofuels because the first generation, second generation, third generation. You have to look over what are generation of biofuel we have. First of all, first, second, third. We go afterwards. We go for the advantages. What are the advantages we have over biofuel over fossil fuels? Yeah, because we are the addictive to fossil fuels. We it is not able to. Yeah, it is not able to reduce the usage of biofuel usage of fossil fuels. So there is some advantages. First of all, the low emission green gas. Yeah, the greenhouse gas emission will be less while you going for the petroleum products or fossil fuel products. What happened? The fossil fuels, what the fossil fuels done, it will emit the carbon dioxide as well as sulfur dioxide, as well as nitrous oxide, dioxide. A lot of things will be emissible. But biofuels, it will emit only carbon dioxide or sometimes it will use some little amount of nitrates. But the carbon dioxide again regained by the plants. Again regained by the plants. That's why it's lower the greenhouse gas. But also it will be renewable. Yeah, I already explained about it will be renewable because it will complete the carbon neutral, complete the carbon cycle and also tends to carbon neutral society. That's why it's called renewable energy. And also biodegradable. If you have a lot of if you split or sometimes spill in the oceans or something, it will be degraded by the microorganism, but not happen in the fossil fuels. There is a recent problem regarding that molecules. The the I don't know the oil tank carried ship will be immersed in the water, so the oil will be leaked into the ocean. The ocean make a lot of impact. It will affect the aquatic ecosystem. It will affect the animals. It will affect the aquatic or living organism like that. But here it will not make. Biofuels, if you spill in the biofuels in the river or sometimes it will spill in the ocean spill, the microorganism in the sea, it will degrade. You don't need of any chemicals to degrade and also safer. Yeah, sometimes the biofuels will be very less thing and also it will not flammable will compared to fossil fuels. It will evaporate and also it will safer, very safer side. That's why there is a lot of advantages we have while comparing lot of advantages we have while comparing to biofuels over fossil fuels. And these are some of the important points I explained here, but there is a lot of things are there. Also, there is some disadvantages also we have with biofuels. Now, first of all, we have to know about what are the common types of biofuels we have. We have a three. Yeah, we have a three type of biofuels are there. First of all, bioethanol. Four types. Sorry, bioethanol, biodiesel. After the biodiesel, we go for biogas. After the bioethanol. These are the common types of biofuel we have. First of all, we go with the bioethanol. These are the cycles where mostly the biodiesel, bioethanol used for the blending purpose. Biodiesel produced from the soya bean oil like that. And biogas used for lighting purpose or cooking purpose like that. Afterwards, we go for the butanol. That's biobutanol. Go for the biobutanol. We have to use a pure of petrol directly will substitute the biobutanol with fossil fuels. First of all, there is a ethanol bunk. It's not a petrol bunk. It's ethanol bunk. It's nearly it will be taken the photograph from also taking the photograph from some European Union and also look at the things. This is the feed materials of the bio ethanol production. That is beetroot, potato, like some waste like that. To go for a biodiesel production, the bioethanol production, the bioethanol, what happened? You have to go for burning. If you go for a burning, by using the bioethanol, go for the burning. In the burning, the same the CO2 released. Again, the CO2 get back to plants. Again, the plants will get again the plants having the same thing. That sugar can, sorry, the potato, beetroot, all things come here. What happened? The plant we will get back from plants here. Things we will go for the bioethanol preparation. We go for the burning. After the burning, go for CO2 production. That is there is a complete flow cycle for the bioethanol. Look at it. Look once here the items made, especially the, first of all the beetroot like that. You will get a clear cut regarding that what is the bioethanol, how the bioethanol will help the healing of the environment. And also we have to make some what how the bioethanol, the definition of bioethanol. The bioethanol will be synthesized by the fermentation of carbohydrate resource. Yeah, carbohydrate resource like that can sugar can fit like that. You have to convert the things into fermentation process to make bioethanol. Mostly it is colorless and clear liquid. It will be colorless and clear liquid. Most widely we use it as a alternative fuel in the valley. You have to blend something with the petrol or diesel. You go with the automotive sense of vehicles or automobiles use as a fuel in the van. I think the important thing we have to do by same like it looks like same like diesel and ethanol. Sometimes you go for a beetroot and think we have some coloring agents. You have to remove that coloring agents to decolorizing the bioethanol. But also we have to look what are the process take place in a bioethanol production. First of all, before the milling process, we go for the before the milling process, we go for the size reduction. Go for the size reduction. First of all, go for the size reduction and size reduction the quality separation. First of all, we have to separate the size. We have to reduce the size of the product. After that, reduce the size of the product. Afterwards, we go for the separation. Afterwards, we go for the quality separation. We have to separate the quality whether they have a good amount of sucrose content or not. The ideal sucrose content of the sugar cans are nearly 15 to 60%, and also same thing beetroot also having 12 to 50%. So you have to whether you have to know how much of sucrose content we have. We have to know how much of sucrose content. Afterwards, with respect to sucrose content, we have to separate because the sucrose content is the main thing in the bioethanol preparation. After that, we have to reduce the size. the larger size into smaller pieces like that. After the size reduction, all things we come in the first of all the milling. Comes here first of all milling. What is the milling? The milling is the process of you have to separate the sugarcane stem. You have to separate the juice from the sugarcane stem and bagasse. So the sugarcane stem you have to using some millets or crushers. You have to separate millets or crushers. You have to separate the juice from the sugarcane stem. After the separation of juice, and the bagasse will be that remaining part of the stem will be called as the bagasse. Bagasse will go for the some other thing, some other purposes. After the separation of juice, first of all, we go for the separation of juice. By using the juice, we go for the fermentation process. We go for this fermentation process. By using the fermentation process, what happens? The sugar particles present in that sugar cane juice, it will be fermented into some things like that. Also, the fermentation is a biological process. We have some temperature, also need some pH value like that. There's a lot of things we made for the fermentation process. Mostly fermentation takes place in a fermenter or batch type fermenter, continuous type fermenter like that. For good example of the batch, the continuous type fermenter is a beer factory industry. The beer production in a beer factory, it will be a continuous type fermentation process. The batch process will be used for the drug production. The biotechnology things, the drug production will all comes under batch type fermentation. So what is mean by distillation? Yeah, we go for distillation process. What happens in distillation process? Yeah, the distillation process you have to make the fermentation process is not only not in the impurities also present in the ethanol. So there is some impurities in the ethanol. So we have to remove the impurities from the ethanol. So we go for the distillation process. What happened in distillation process? That is what happened in the distillation process. The distillation process will be you have to heat up the ethanol solution. We're going for the heating. What happened? The boiling point of the ethanol is 70 degrees. The other inputs have something more or less. You go for a correct of 70 degree. The only ethanol will be evaporated. Yeah, the only ethanol will be evaporated. The separate impurities will be settled down in the jar itself. So the evaporated ethanol, you have to again go for the condensation process. You have to get back the ethanol. And so this is called the fractional distillation thing happen in the ethanol process. After that, again we have some amount of argon amount. You have to remove the moisture containing isotropic. They have the ethanol will flow down from the water. That is called water plus ethanol mixture is called a isotropic mixture. That is called dehydration. This is the flow chart of the how the ethanol will be produced from the feed material to packaging. First of all, I already explained the size reduction. Afterward, the quality parameters. Afterward, the milling. After the milling, we go for the fermentation. After the fermentation, we go for distillation. After distillation, we go for the dehydration. This is the process, food process. We have to look forward for the bioethanol. Afterwards, we go for the chemical reaction take place in the bioethanol. What are the chemical reaction take place in the bioethanol? Yeah, what are the chemical reactions we take in the bioethanol? First of all, the sucrose content C12H22 O level is called sucrose. Since of the sugar components like that, plus H2O, we have to add the water for hydrolysis process. By using the enzyme called invertase, it will convert the sucrose into glucose. That is C6H12O6. Sometimes fructose or glucose, the same molecular formula with the same thing. After what's happened, manufacture of glucose, the glucose again converted into ethanol. But also during the process, the enzyme, these are two enzymes, zymase, that is, these are two types of enzyme present in the yeast. as I call it Baker East or some ethanol manufacturing East, we have the two important, in the sense of two important things we have. After that, sucrose to glucose will convert to ethanol plus CO2. I already explained the sucrose will be converted into ethanol. The C2H5O6, OH. The OH indicates the OH group indicates the alcohol group. That is ethanol plus CO2 will be released. And also this process will not, the process will not start automatically. We have to induce the process. We have to induce the fermentation process with the increased temperature and the enzymes. So increased temperature as catalyst like taste and savings. We have to increase the temperature up to 250 and also it requires 3 days. It's nearly 3 days to convert that sucrose to ethanol, till alcohol or ethanol. This is the chemical reaction take place in the production of bioethanol. This is one of the important chemical reaction. If whatever you get to go, you get there is called something called bioethanol will be take place a major role in the biofuels. Afterwards, what are the advantages and disadvantages of bioethanol? If there is advantage, definitely we have some disadvantages. There are advantages. The advantages of ethanol is a renewable resource. Already explained it is thanks to the carbon cycle, it will increase the carbon neutral society and also it will burns more clearly the air. And when petroleum it burns, it makes some incomplete combustion like that. It will make some carbon dioxide, sorry, carbon monoxide, sulfate will take place. But here there is no more easily in air than petroleum. Carbon dioxide emission. Yeah, I already explained about use of petrol. It is carbon dioxide. It has carbon dioxide emissions. So comparing to fossil fuels, it will be very less. That's why the ethanol reduce carbon dioxide emissions. After what happened, what are disadvantages? Yeah, because the bioethanol is a material, bioethanol is a fuel derived from the resources and some plant resources, animal resources. So what happened? Large amount of plants will be uprooted. Means what happened? It really goes to soil earth deforestation because we have to balance the things. We have to balance the thing. If you cut down the 2 trees, you have to plant 20 more trees. That's the balance will take place. That's a lot. It will reduce the soil reaction and deforestation. And also, typical conditions require modification. Yeah, sometimes there are some engines, some IC engines are not ready to accept the bioethanol. Not ready to those ready to accept the bioethanol. You have to modify some modification in the ignition things and also spark ignition. You have to modify the ignition parts. Sometimes you have to change that compression ratio like that. After you get a proper thing. And also expensive. Yeah. When comparing to testing, the production of bioethanol will be expensive, but in 2021 it will not expensive because before 2010, 1 liter of petrol will 60 rupees. The production of bioethanol will be 65 rupees. So it will be expensive when comparing to fossil fuel. Now the per liter of petrol will be 85 to 90 rupees, but here 65. So the bioethanol production will be not much expensive in the 21st century. So we have to change that expensive to inexpensive in the advantageous role. Yeah, after after that those things like bioethanol, we go for the biodiesel. What is biodiesel? The same alternative fuel, but it will be biological process. Then the oil will be extracted. The oil will be extracted from the animal extract after extracted, and also the petroleum fuel cell extracted. The same structure we have in the biodiesel. Also look like they have the carbon chain of 10 to 21 carbon chains. 10 carbon chains with 21 carbon atoms. The same 10 to 21 carbon atoms will take place in the biodiesel also. That is same. Look, the structure of the fuel will be same. The carbon structure of this diesel will be same. And also we go for the prepared by transesterification. The trans esterification is a process of converting biological oils to biodiesel, and also it will emit some glycerol. The glycerol is an important thing. The trans acidification process takes place in the soap industry. If you go and check your bathing soap, they have really most of the bathing soaps having the glycerol content. The glycerol content, so the glycerol is prepared from the trans acidification process. And it is due to the biological process. We extract the source from biological things. After we go for the chemical reaction. So it will make the material called biodiesel. Okay, fine. Yeah, this is the one of the systematic biodiesel production way. Yeah. Okay. First of all, vegetable oil and animal fat. This is the vegetable oil and animal fat. The vegetable oil and animal fat will be goes for the trans acidification process. This is a process trans acidification. During trans acidification, we get the crude glycerin. Glycerin is the byproduct of the trans acidification process. After during that, we get the crude biodiesel. This is one of the desired product. We go for some refining process like that. Go and go. After the crude biodiesel, we go for the go and go. After crude biodiesel will be biodiesel. But during the trans acidification process, we called crude biodiesel is desired product, and the crude glycerin is a byproduct. But the trans acidification process, the main product, nearly 90% of the material will be glycerin. That's why it's the main product. And the biodiesel, it will be 10 to 12% of the biodiesel. After the glycerin, crude glycerin, we have go for glycerin refining. During glycerin refining, we get the glycerin. The glycerin is has a huge amount of market value comparing to biodiesel. We get a good cost from the glycerin because most of the cosmetics, cosmetics, and also the soap manufacturing, soap, hand wash, like most of things will be produced from the glycerin. Most of things produced from the glycerin. After glycerin, we have some amount of methanol recovery go for the metal plus catalyst. After the metal plus catalyst, it goes to trans acidification process. Again, the methanol will be used as a catalyst. Look at here, the trans acidification, the main product, our feed is animal fat. We getting biodiesel. We are getting not only the biodiesel, the same thing during the biodiesel, we getting the glycerin. So this is the systematic biodiesel production pathway. How the from first step to last step. This is one of the important flowchart. Just make it clear. And also after that we go for the trans acidification process. The trans acidification process, the look at the triglyceride. The triglyceride is nothing but that animal fat or animal extracted oil plus methanol. This is methanol is already explained that methanol plus catalyst. That if you go back, if you go with these things, you get the methyl esters from glycerol. The methyl esters is called crude biodiesel. Only the same number of chains will take place in both the glycerin and the methyl esters. So that's why the R1 in sense of R1 1, 2, 3, we get the carbon chain of 15 to 21 carbon atoms are there. And also here, how you will know? Sorry, the method, how will the glycerol, how will you know how will you know this is here alcohol group or not? Just look at the glycerol, look at the OH group, so it will be alcoholic group. That's why we will get the initial contact regarding the how to identify the alcohol group in the process. Glycerol plus methanol, we get the ethyl esters plus glycerol. This is a typical trans acidification process we have. And also, we go for a biodiesel from different oil. Yeah, we have to know how the oil will be made from the biodiesel because we have a lot of plant oils on that, but we have to know which oil we need, which amount of temperature, which oil we need, which amount of reaction time. And also the catalyst also will change with respect to plant oil. That's why we go for first of all the soya bean and castor, especially the Brazil. Why the brain will come from Brazil. That's why the castor will Brazil. What alcohol we get ethyl alcohol with a temperature of 70 degrees. The reaction will be 3 hours on the temperature 70 degrees. NaOH is the catalyst for the soya bean and the castor. And also waste frying oil. And also the waste frying oil, essence of the oil fried in the restaurant and all things are frying purpose. After the oil, it has contained methyl alcohol. If you go for a temperature of 60 degree with 1 hour of reaction time, you will get the biodiesel. The catalyst used for this waste frying oil reaction, catalyst is NO, the sodium hydroxide, NOOH we also use it. And also for the rapeseed, the alcohol will be made from methyl alcohol will be take place after a temperature of 60 degree, and the reaction time will be 33 minutes. During 33 minutes, by rapeseed oil, you have to make methyl alcohol, and also a catalyst will be, and also the catalyst will be KOH, that is potassium hydroxide. And also sunflower oil. This is one of the important things in sunflower oil. In Tamil Nadu, we have mostly used sunflower oils. Sunflower oil, we have the methyl alcohol. Getting potassium or hydroxide. And look at this, most of the things we have only the soybean acid getting the ethyl alcohol, and most of the things we getting the methanol, and also sometimes we have also we have a huge number of temperature for the soybean and castor. And also the catalyst, more or less the catalyst is mostly used as a hydroxide catalyst with NaOH, NaOH and KOH. These are the main catalysts used for the biodiesel production from different oils. Some of the examples like soya bean, waste frying oil, rapeseed, etc. So lot of brand oils are there. That is Jatropha oil, that is Jatropha, and lot of oils we have. Yeah, we move to what are the applications we have. Especially with biodiesel, what are the applications we have? Mostly railway usage. Yeah, sometimes by using the biodiesel, even they go for the railways. For example, in Sweden, morning itself I indicated the applications of the biodiesel. Morning itself I indicate the applications of the biodiesel. Even the one train will be running full of biodiesel. All the railway usage, aircraft usage. Yeah, I don't know how many of you know. Before 2 years, the aircraft one is full slide with the use of full of biodiesel. The heating oil. Sometimes we're using as a biodiesel use heating oil for room heating and also some space heating like that. We get using that heating oil things. But also for the oil spills. Yeah, the biodiesel will be with oil spills because the biodiesel having some microorganisms and some organic content. It will also fill in the oil spills. And also if the biodiesel will spill in the ocean, it will disintegrate itself. It will create itself. Also biodiesel generators. There is a lot of using biodiesel generate by using the vanilla generator biodiesel. But during running generators, we have to produce electricity. The electricity used for the lot of applications. Even they give electricity to the grid connection, and also vehicle. You also go for a vehicle content. You also go for, yeah. We also go for a vehicle. We also go to make a biodiesel as a fuel to running the vehicles. Lot of cars nowadays. The biodiesel cars are you see every year, everywhere in the country, not in India. European countries mostly the European countries mostly the biodiesel vehicles are most common. And also what are the biodiesel also be used biodiesel and without biodiesel. Yeah, first of all, can be used to pure biodiesel. Yeah. Here, for bioethanol, you have to blend with the diesel. The sense of petrol 70 percentage, petrol 70, 30 percentage of bioethanol, or petrol 80, 20% of bioethanol. But here you will use as a pure B100. B100, the B itself indicates blending. The B itself indicates blending. You are using the biodiesel of 100 in the sense of you don't need any petrol or diesel. You will use the biodiesel for full pure biodiesel for the fuel for running vehicles. Now, as we see, short more very fast. Diesel engine. It will ignite very. And also it has no sulfur content. And also it has no sulfur content. So it is not contribute to acid rain formation. Yeah, I have to explain what is meant by acid rain. Yeah, the acid rain itself indicate the acid rain itself indicate that during the acid rain, the what happened, the sulfates, nitrates produced from the vehicles, it will deposit into the atmosphere during the clouds. It will deposit the clouds during the cold air will take place. What happened? The clouds having some water, the hydroxides like that in the cloud. What happened? The nitric and sulfate will react with the hydrates in the cloud and form the what happened if you make the nitric acid and also nitric acid or sulfuric acid. Nitric acid, sulfuric acid will take place, will come from the land. What happened? It will back to the land. The land full of your affected with the sulfuric and the nitric acid. The sulfur nitric acid, what doing? It will do with it will acidify the land and also it will acidify the soil. And not it will soil will be counted to not suitable for counted to not suitable. What happened? Not suitable for agriculture and some other purposes. And also have a lubricating on the sense of by using your biodiesel, you don't need to go for the extra lubricating oil because the biodiesel having the good lubricating properties better than diesel engine, standard diesel. So you don't need for the lubricating things like that. Afterwards, we go for a biodiesel. It will be more expensive, but not now. It's before 5 years, it will be expensive. But here it will not expensive. And also it release some amount of nitric oxide related to fog. Yeah, fog in the sense of it will be a fog with dust plus smoke, called fog, dust plus smoke called fog. Sometimes a little amount of nitrous oxide will make it fog. And also purification, yeah. Biodiesel, we have to purify the biodiesel, otherwise it makes two problems in low temperature because if you have impurities means it will freeze. If you go for a northeastern states or colder region, the biodiesel will if impurity the biodiesel having some impurities with means it will be freeze and it will not capable for ignition and all things. And also food shortage. When using for biodiesel, you mostly go for the vegetable things and trees and plants. So the food problem take place because India will be a huge problem in the malnutrition and the nutrient deficiency things. So food shortage will be occurred. Food shortage will be occurred. These are the advantages, disadvantages of biodiesel. First is bioethanol, after biodiesel. After we go for the biobutanol. What things happening in biobutanol? Biobutanol as a term itself indicates renewable resources. We have to same fermentation with respect to some grains or constructs to bio. It's also using the biobutanol fermentation process with respect to daily crop organism species using. That is CH sense of the methane will be converted into both alcoholic group. Sense of that methane, sense of the sugar content will be converted into I said butanol is more similar to gasoline because it is more similar to gasoline and also it has a good oil, good calorific value compared to ethanol. That's why the biobutanol will be the substitute for the petrol and diesel. And these are these are the typical how the ethanol and all things, methanol, butanol, all things happen. First of all, we go for the feedstock. First of all, we have a feedstock. Feedstock, after feedstock, first of all, we contain cornstarch, molasses, glycerin, cellulose. These are some something we go for a pre-treatment treatment of an acid treatment or some acute treatment or some cutting down to small, bigger to smaller sizes like that. And hydrolysis. The hydrolysis sense of we have to addition of water. The water, what happen? The water will play a main role. It will convert into complex into simpler form. That is pre-treatment or hydrolysis. After the bagasse and wheat straw, what is the saccharification the process? We have to convert the celluloid part to simpler compound. That is saccharification process. The two process what happen after the process, the pre-treatment hydrolysis and saccharification, we go for a fermentation. What happens? The fermentation process consists of it will convert the organic or sugar compounds into ethanol by the same of thermophilic bacteria. I already explained about what is meant by mesophilic and thermophilic. The thermophilic indicates why the thermophilic bacteria here means the temperature will be, I already explained the previous slide or day before. What I told, the temperature will be 200 to 300. The before of more than 40 to 50 degree it goes, the thermophilic bacteria play an important role. That's why after thermophilic bacteria, we go for the product recovery. After we go for product recovery, we have a product of more than 2 to 3 products are there. It's acetone, butanol, ethanol, hydrogen, high value chemical. But our desired thing is here, but our desired thing will be butanol. Yeah, but our desired thing will be butanol. So the very mostly for the acetone, yes, ethanol, acetone will be used as a chemical. The high value chemical hydrogen also take place because they also have some hydrogen content oil things. First of all, the feedstock, the two types of feedstocks, one for saccharification process, one for pre-treatment hydrolysis, go for fermentation. After the fermentation, we go for product recovery. The product recovery, we get acetone, butanol, ethanol, hydrogen, and high value chemicals. This is one of the typical how the feedstock change from starting to finishing point. Also, this is one of the important energy flow diagram, the sense of energy flow diagram of the acetone, butanol, ethanol fermentation. First of all, exhaust. The thing in the son of methyl ester, the exhaust. By using ester, we have to convert to pyruvate. During 2 pyruvate, the 2 ATP will be converted to ADP will be converted to 2 ATP. Yeah, the 2 ADP will be converted into 2 ATP. After the 281 ATP, the 2 NAD plus will convert to then will be converted to N plus. The 2 NAD will convert to Na plus Na. After that, what happens? The exhaust will be made to pyruvate. After the pyruvate, it will be converted to acetate. What happened to the pyruvate? The NAD will convert to sense of to hydrogen will be involved in this process. Hydrogen will be involved. After the pyruvate, we convert to acetate. During to acetate, we have to add amount of CO2. What happens when the CO2 is being converted to with respect to CO2 to acetate? It will form acetate. Acetate will form acetate. After the same, the NAD plus to convert into NAD plus minus. What happens? Acetate will be formed. Again, the energy process, again energy from the energy thing take place. We will boost ethanol. The ethanol is completed product we taken here. Again, we come here to acetate. Acetate will convert to acetoacetate. Again, we convert to acetoacetate. The acetoacetate will go for the butyl. The butyl will go for the butyrate. And also some the butyrylate. The butyrylate will go for butanol. If butanol takes place, the butyrate will be the main thing. Again, the butanol will be goes to the butyrate to make the butanol. The same thing, the acetate will go for make acetone. Again, acetone will go for isopropyl. But the distilled product, our distilled product will be what? The distilled product will be ethanol, butanol, and acetone. Sometimes you go for the acetate. Exhaust to the nostril rolling. The exhaust indicates amount of micro. So I need to put up all the things. The exhaust will be the 4. The count of 4 butane. This is one of the simple energy flow diagram of how the acetate butane ethanol will take place. This is one of the important energy flow diagram. It will be very confusing thing, even if you go through better way, get a good sign of the how it will make happening. It will be the same thing. But here the flow chart will be the line diagram, but here will be in a process flow diagram. That's why it looks like something difficult to understand. And also, what's the how the production of ethanol? You have to make a butanol from ethanol using catalyst hydroacetate. Catalyst that activates the hydrolactate of ethanol conversion to hydrocarbon. Look at the ethanol same is CH3 CH2OH, that is 2 CH3 CH2OH reduced. CH3 CH2 the same thing for the ethanol converted into solid glucose converted to ethanol. And also some amount of water vapor, water molecule decrease. The typical thing, the catalyst we use here is that is CA10 PO46OH. This is the catalyst used to convert or produce butanol from ethanol. Then look at the butanol in the sense of two carbon thing, the ethanol will be the three carbon. The two carbon thing with respect to separate the full amount to separate the two things into simpler. Which is the ethanol will separate into butanol. Important thing that can take place here. Also, the biobutanol applications. What are the applications we have in biobutanol? First of all, we have a gasoline additive, the fluid formation. Yeah, gasoline it has been used as a substitute for gasoline, and also sometimes used to the brake fuel. If you go for a brake fluid, we also use it for a brake fluid for some times. And also some because the biobutanol will be having a good amount of petroleum, so we use the solvents coating and varnish biobutanol and also plastic because the plastic making material needed some plastic we needed some plastics to make the elasticity of to increase the elasticity of the plastics. To increase the elasticity of the plastic, we have to use a biobutanol plastic to improve how the plastic material process will take place. And also sometimes the coating for the using of coating. So because of the sticking, we have a huge amount of sticking force, sticking properties. So there's a coating, it will be good for the coating. And also chemical intermediate. Sometimes you have to produce some chemical petroleum. You have to substitute that. When we go for substitute biobutanol means why we go for substitute biobutanol means the same production of plastic we need a fossil fuel and petroleum products. But here that why would we enough to make plastic products? And also the textile, but doing the textile, some fabric needs some elasticity and swelling agent. Biobutanol will be used as a swelling agent. So we use swelling agent to coat the fabric. Fabric some need elasticity only. If you mix the biobutanol with the textile cloth, now, some things called cosmetics, backup, nail care products, saving products, all things this biobutanol take place. For example, the nail care products, if you go for a nail remover, instead of the nail polish remover, you get a smell of ethanol, and you get a smell of alcohol. By the way of the biobutanol, the main thing in the saving cells also the saving of the same cell and also get a smell of alcohol. It all comes under the biobutanol application. And also the cost application also we use butanol will be the fuel cost. These are some of the biofuel applications we have in our environment, in our society. Some of the applications only. There's a lot of applications are that in and that. So there is some of the important applications we have. Now itself we made a huge content regarding the bioethanol, the biofuels, generation of biofuels, biorefinery, bioethanol, and also the biobutanol, biodiesel, e-diesel, all things. After that, we have advantages, disadvantages, like that. After that, we go for the applications, the all things. Next, we move for the some of the important concepts regarding the biomass briquettes. Okay, before we go for the biomass briquettes, we have to explain. Yeah, I have a video regarding what is biomass briquette. How the biomass briquette I have a video. After the video, I will explain to get a clear cut about what is biomass and all. I think that video will be visible to all.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Ah,
Fine. I think the video will be clear regarding how the biomass briquettes will manufacture and all. We go for what is the biobriquettes and all the biomass briquettes. Generally, source of energy, it provides viable resource. First of all, what's mean by we have to know about what is mean by biobriquettes and all. First, also densification problem. You have to densify the agriculture. You have to in the sense of densify, you have to increase the density. You have to increase that, in the system increase the density. So you have to make the densification of the process to by using the crop that used on biomass waste to make the densification. The resultant of the densification will be the briquettes. Mostly they also used as a flame. Most of the people the biobriquettes will be used, and also have a huge they have a huge demand for biobriquettes, especially for the chemical plants, parental units, dyeing houses, food processing units, oil mills, etc. They have a huge amount of demand. After we'll see commonly a square or rectangle. Mostly the safe will be a square or rectangle. And also one of the renewable energy, and also I already explained the biobriquettes, the renewable energy. It also can reduce pollution. Like it also reduce the pollution. And also mostly the biobriquette source materials are will be agriculture waste, forest waste, and industrial waste. Mostly the biomass briquettes are made up of agriculture waste, forest waste, industrial waste. These are the things we made because these are the some resources we have. And also this one of the manufacturing process of how the biobriquettes will made. First of all, the raw material preparation, in the sense of raw material, whether the material having carbon content, the material having some binder particle, material having some sticking force, like that we have to make. First of all, we make the raw material preparation. After the raw material preparation, we go for the carbonizing. We have to add some carbon things like that to make it will be flammable. After that, we have to studding and grinding. You have to cut it into smaller particles, or the big size of material will be counted into powder form. You have to convert the big small big things or solid particles will be in a powder form. After the making of powder form, you mix with the binder. You have to mix some binder. What's your binder means? You need some sticking force by using you sometimes using glue for sticking. But here you have to use some binders, organic binders, using some organic binders, mix with some organic binders to make a briquette. The last finishing on briquettes. After the briquetting, the briquettes is made, you go for a drying process. After drying process, you go for the briquetting storage systems. After you go for the briquetting cutting, you to cutting record with respect to your need of someone need maybe a bigger one, someone need a small one. So with respect to you go for the briquetting cutting and packaging. This is the critical process flow diagram for the briquetting process. And also the some of the machines used in a briquetting process. Jumbo 90 briquetting machine, the Super 70 briquetting machine, and also Supreme briquetting machine, and briquetting crusher machine. The crusher machine used to convert the solid particles into powder form. And these are some of the images. The video shows all this image itself only. Then here we have the raw materials or feed material will go the conveyor thing. After here it will fall down here, the fall down here, the feeder here, then we have a die thing, densification will take place. After densification, the product will come out from inside. That's why it's called the component breeding. This is some of the example of crushers. How the crushing will take place, your feed will be take place here. Your feed will be here. Here has some hammer mill or two feeding cylinders for that. That's what a part will do. The cylinder will feeding all material will convert into powder form. So the remaining will be settled down here. This is one of the important things. The first of all, the briquetting is for the crusher. This is the two important things we need for the biomass briquetting. Also, what are the benefits? Yeah. What are the benefits we have by using the biomass liquids? What are the benefits we have? Because the production will be cheap. If the raw material will be more enough. For example, if you want from Ramanathapuram district, or you want from Maharashtra, or you want from Uttar Pradesh, you have a lot of firewood. When you have to make liquids, so the process is cheaper for you. And also, that's the thing for the Indian government declared tax benefits. And also, you don't need to pay tax for this product. In India, you got every product, you have a GST or some tax like that. But here, these things, we don't have any tax. They don't have any tax and also subsidy. They also give subsidy for that plant, the subsidy for the machine buying, like that, they give subsidy for the plant insurance. And also, the main important thing in the biomass is that you don't need a pollution, you don't need a NOC. If you have to, for example, if you have to start one industry, means you have to get a no objection certificate, pollution control board. but you don't need any NOC certificate party, NOC, there is no requirement of NOC certificate party, pollution control board. But also, there's a lot of financial pyramid, there's a lot of NGOs, the CSR funds, national banks, that is called NABARD bank, that is rural, national banking for rural agriculture development. There's a lot of banks are making lot of projects doing the bricketing plant. And also a huge demand, especially for foreign military industry. They have huge demand for the briquetting, have huge demand for sugar mills, paper mills, chemical mills, cement, etc. Also, this also a very important thing, in the biomass application in India. Poverty, chemical, environmental stress. Yeah, the sense of the biomass briquetting in India really poverty because you have to give us you have become entrepreneur when you became an entrepreneur, so you know what are things you need, but also you really poverty giving job to someone, and also environmental stress because you don't go for the fossil people, you really feel environmental stress. Also, even farmers and farmers even they have a large amount of farm skill, they will get a feed material from their farm itself, so it will make huge profit in the farmer. These are some examples and images regarding the briquettes. This is wood briquettes, old briquettes. These are old briquettes, the wood briquettes. This is a mixing of woods with some other things with the briquettes. These are important briquetting images here. So you will get a description of how the briquettes will look. These are the images. Also, what are the advantages we have? Since we have lots of advantages in renewable nature, yeah. The briquettes will play an important role. So the briquettes will play an important role, especially in renewable nature. Also, it will play it will complete the carbon cycle, and also it will go for the carbon neutral society, and also cost effective fuel for industries. How it is cost effective means for burning. If you buy the 1 kg of bricks or briquettes are same thing, but thermal efficiency long lasting will be more. So this is effective fuel. And also eco-friendly. It will be eco-friendly because you using the waste here. Waste here to make briquettes. And also reduce usage of wood. How reduce usage of wood means for 1 hour of burning, you need 1 kg of ordinary conventional wood. But you are using briquettes, it's nearly 60 grams of wood to burning for 1 hour. So it reduces usage of wood. Now it is easy to transport. Why it is easy to transport means it look like a why it will be easy to transport means it will be a proper regular shape like square or rectangular. So it will be easy to transport from one place to another. There is no need to, there is no problem with transportation. After that, no flying of ash. Why this means if you using a wooden things, using the wooden fireworks and all things, it will ashes will be flying. But here it is already identified one, so the ashes will be not move from the natural resource. Yeah, it will not move from one place to another. It will be densified one. And also high efficient quality fuel. Yeah, it has high efficiency quality fuel. Very good quality. Also, 1 kg of wood is enough to burning for 1.5 hours. High efficiency, high burning efficiency, and low thermal efficiency. Also, it will not emit sulfur phosphor emission, so it will not emit sulfur or phosphor emission. Also, use transportation. Sometimes they also use transportation like that. And also, the main advantage of the here is it produces constant heat for longer hours.
Sir, hello, sir.
Hello?
Hello,
Yeah.
sir. How much time it will take, sir?
I think it's nearly 2 to 5 minutes, 5 minutes, 2 to 3 minutes it will go over.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Yeah, sure. Also, produce constant heat for longer time. It will be longer time. Why means you have to put amount of constant heat with respect to longer time. Some air pollution, soil degradation. The air pollution sends out some biofuel things. It has to emit oxygen and emissions like that. Also, sometimes the inhalation of ethanol will be harmful to us. Yeah, it will be harmful in affecting and all things. And also, sometimes it will make some biogenic agents. and also it will emit lots of degradation and some of the bad occurrence. Soil conditions of the land, it will reduce the categorizing land, it will reduce the local ecosystem like that. So it will affect the local environment. That's why local environment. That's why the biofuels go for the soil content. The only thing, the economic benefits are you have to reduce the waste, and also it will reduce the greenhouse gases, and also the carbon neutral form, and it go tends to biodiversity. These are the economic impact like reduction of waste, extremely low emission of greenhouse gas, and carbon neutral society. And also socioeconomic benefits like in the sense, it also gives a good financing support to the Armenian community. Increase the job and also you don't depend on the foreign products. The foreign is like the petroleum, all things we imported from the foreign. So you don't depend on the foreign things. And also the major challenge, I already explained about what are the major challenges we have. So we have a solution. And we have only the solution that we have to involve the innovation these methods of the rural market, rural experts. You have to motivate others to rural entrepreneurs to make something from the, for example, the biomass marketing is a lot of innovative ideas are there. You have to make sense to make an entrepreneurship and make a own business. And also you have to need which plan you have to which plan you have to use, which plan will be useful for you. So you need a correct knowledge about the energy plantation to make some of these things. And these are the two solutions I have to explain. From my point of view, it's over. You have any doubts regarding all things? I'm happy to share all the doubts. The organizers, I think from my point of view, it will be over. It will be some participants or something will be they don't they do they have any doubts means please ask. Organizers is that
Hello, sir. Sir, can we continue, sir? No problem for 5 to 10 minutes.
sorry.
5 to 10 minutes you can continue, sir. No problem.
Hello.
Hello, sir.
10 minutes.
You can continue, sir. 5 to 10 minutes, no problem. Hello, are you able to hear me, sir? Hello.
Yeah, you are audible. Yeah, I have one or two topics. Within 10 minutes, it will be over.
Okay, okay. You can continue, sir. No problem. No problem. You can continue.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Are you sharing, sir, PPT? Okay, sir, you can continue. Your PPT is visible.
Yes, visible.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. So there is some innovations how to convert the waste to energy and all. So first of all, we in the innovation sense of what is waste management, how to make a waste management simple that we have to collect waste materials, transporting, processing to make a new product. From waste, you have to make some new product or you have to go for the energy recovery. Yeah, these are the conventional waste management systems. What we have. We simply in our India, we have only two types of main things: the landfill and incinerator. Mostly the landfill they used to simply dump all materials in the landfill. The incinerator simply we have to burn. Yeah, you have to burn you have to burn the waste to make energy from the incinerator. These are two conventional things. After we'll go for the composting. By using the composting, we have to produce organic fertilizers from the composting yard. Is one of the biological process to convert waste into products, and also mechanical treatment recycling. The recycling itself indicate you have to make something from the that waste. You have to recycle the recycling process, especially for glass. They have a recycling percentage of 100%. That's why the mechanical treatment and recycling will take place. And also pyrolysis. The pyrolysis simple when there's options of oxygen, you have to the options of oxygen, you have to make something from the options of oxygen. You go for the treatment, or you go for the degradation of the waste with the help of heat energy. It is pyrolysis process. The pyrolysis process we get the bio oil and biochar is a main thing. It's a byproduct. The gasification, by using the gasification process, you have to gasify the materials with respect to 700 to 800 degrees Celsius. It will give the sign gas or producer gas to the used to make electricity generation. And also that we need a innovative waste management system. Yeah, we need some innovative things. Why means there is a rapid developmentation and industrialization. There is a rapid development and industrialization take place before a sense of before environmental revolution. After the environmental revolution, there's a lot of peak in the waste production sectors. After there is an increase in population, sense of there is an increase in population, and also waste generation will be more and more increases per day per man, nearly producing 250 grams of waste. And also most of the landfills will be reaching capacity. There's most of the landfills will be reaching the capacity because the landfill will be fully filled and there is no place for getting the waste there. And also the new headache for the Indian government is WEE. That is the waste from electrical and electronic equipment, waste of electrical equipment, neutral. But also some developing countries, what they do, the developed country will dumping all the waste to the developing countries. And also it make a huge amount of harmful emissions and contaminated the water bodies. Because you know already about the land significantly, the price of the land will be increasing day by day. Nowadays the square feet will be increasing up to 6,000 to 7,000 rupees. Yeah, why we need for the innovative sense? First of all, we need a innovative things to make this something. First of all, the controlled landfilling process. You have to control the landfilling process with respect to leachate. The leachate is the liquid produced from the landfills. The liquid produced from landfill. It will be more toxic like cyanide. And also we have to treat that. We have to control the leachate. After that, the accelerate. We have to accelerate the decomposition of waste because the decomposition of waste up to 7 days means you have to add some cow dung or some microbial load means it will increase and make what happen take accelerate the decomposition reaction. And also sometimes we have to conventional landfills as dry as possible. The landfills will be very dry means there is no chemical reaction take place, organic process take place. So it will not make smell or not create unpleasant odor or methane thing. And also sometimes look at the image itself indicate you have to make the bag with the plastic covers to prevent the escape of landfill gases from the landfills in the sense of dumping. And also renewable energy. You have to generate energy from the by if you are making energy recovery from the landfill, you will recover methane. By using the methane, you have to generate electricity. All things take place, and also it will reduce the greenhouse gas emissions and also landfill life extension because the landfill will not fill the means it will be increase the extension process. And also the one of the important thing go for the microwave plasma gasification. If you have a huge amount of materials, you have to go for the complete disintegration. You go for the plasma gasification. The plasma gasification indicate you have to destroy all the materials with the more temperature of 1500 to 2000 degrees Celsius. And also we produce sign gas from the those things. And also 20% of the recovered energy will be energy recovered from 20%. And also the metals, glasses, minerals are not gasified. It will convert into inert slag. It will convert into small like slag residues. And also very light moldable. We also use it as a slag used for the building material. It's 100% more if you're comparing to diesel from waste. It will be 70% more efficient to recover energy. And also plastic degrading waste bacteria. You have to degrade the plastic into biodegradable polymers. Some polyhydroalkanates, PLA, sensitive bacteria, high carbon sources, etc. It gives a huge impact to the environment. This what happens. This microorganism will convert the bacteria into biodegradable polymers. And these are some example of the image itself indicate nearly 3 to 4 months it will be degraded. Near to 3 to 4 months it will degraded. Like the plastic carry bags, blood bags will be completely degraded. The same properties having the polyethanol and polypropylene. And also PLA and also PLA poly acid and also PLA, so the polylactic acid, same like that it look like a bioplastic. It will not from the petrochemical plastic. Even it has a huge applications in the packaging, coating material, chemical equipment. And also we need a thing called the zero waste philosophy because no we have a motto of no scratch. We have a motto of no scratch sent to landfills, incinerators, etc. With a smarter designing, you have to reduce the waste in the sense of 4R technology: reduce, recycle, reuse, and recover. This is a 4R approach. You have to go for the 4R approach to make the reduce the waste production. And also we need a lot of new policies like that to convert natural resources. And also change in attitude. Yeah, we need to change in attitude. For example, you have to using the high leather. You have to use high made leather. Sometimes you have to use high fabric condition or quality fabric things like that. But also sometimes you have to use that not you are not using single plastic, using wooden things, using that pet bottles like that. It also makes some sense to the zero waste philosophy. And also the ethical, chemical, efficient visionary because it will be make a lot of job creators, especially in the waste management. It create a lot of waste to the and lot of jobs to the youngsters, and also it has a lot of entrepreneurship opportunities in the waste management. So you need to know whether it has huge amount of waste because the zero waste things, the municipal solid waste, you get lot of things. And also sometimes you get the plastic recycling, you have to make some new product and go for the upcycling things, and all things. You get a lot of revenue from the India, especially from India itself. They're getting the plastic waste of revenue of 150 crores per year, especially in the plastic recycling. Yeah, we have nearly 5 to 6 minutes. We have. If you have any doubts from participants or organizers, have any doubt means you will ask. I will happy to clear.
Yes, anyone want to ask any doubt, please ask. Sir will answer you. Any participants, please? Any participants, if you want to ask anything, you can ask. Okay, sir. I think no one is responded.
Okay,
Sir,
okay.
thank you, sir, for your valuable time. You accepted our invitation and given a good lecture, which is a very huge scope. Whatever you are telling, today's topic, bioethanol, biomass, biofuel, very huge scope in especially in research area for electrical people. We thank you, sir, on behalf of management and principal, especially from St. Peter's Engineering College, Department of Tripoli. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Please wait for valedictory, sir. We came to an end of the HTTP third slot HTTP on design and technology aspects of off-grid and grid-connected rooftop solar and bioenergy operation and maintenance. This is the third slot of AICT sponsored HTTP. Now I would like to speak about this HTTP. HOD of Tripoli Department, Dr. Dilip Kumar sir. Please address the gathering, sir.
Yeah, thank you. Answer Garu, is my voice audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You are very clear, sir.
Yeah. Thank you. First of all, I thank all the participants who have joined this session and then who have listened to this program very interestingly. At the outcourse, I would like to thank our Secretary, Honorable Secretary Garu, Mr. T.V. Reddy Garu, and the convener and as well as the principal of the program, Dr. K. Srilata Garu, and AICT for sponsoring this STTP. Actually, this was the STTP which was planned for offline, but due to the Corona pandemic, this has to be converted into an online STTP. And in this, we have conducted a series of STTPs. This is third and the final STTP which we have conducted. And in these three STTPs, there are about 150 plus participants all over the country who have participated. And I presume that the participants who have attended this STTP, series of STTPs, have gained good knowledge on the topic, which is design and technological aspects of off-grid and grid-connected rooftop solar and bioenergy, which deals about not just the theoretical aspects, but the operational and as well as the maintenance aspects of the topic. And as you know, most of the participants are into the teaching fraternity, and the knowledge which the teaching fraternity have is very much restricted towards the theoretical aspects. We do teach students about the solar and biomass energy, but coming to the practicality, what are the how to design a solar rooftop power for small power plant station for a house residential purpose or a commercial purpose. So these design aspects and what are the permissions, all those are being dealt in this workshop. And I would like to thank the NS Muthukumaran NSIC team for their valuable knowledge, sharing of their valuable knowledge which they have, and they are practically into the operation and maintenance of this. So I thank each and every participant and as well as the Muthukumaran's team NSIC for supporting us in this series of STTPs. And I wish the participants should join in the STTPs which we conduct in near future. I thank the coordinators, Mr. Mallikarjun and as well as PV Sirisha for their continuous effort in pulling up following the participants and as well as making sure that all the participants attend the program in a regular way. And it was an overwhelming response because usually the online STTP programs, as of now, with the tight academic schedule, also we could receive participant strength of 60 plus in this third STTP. I thank participants for their interest and enthusiasm. I would like to thank the faculty members of Tripoli department for their continuous support in this STTP. I would like to thank all the faculty members of St. Peter's Engineering College for their support and as well as valuable suggestions in smooth running and as well as successful completion of this series of STTPs. Thank you all. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. You are always encouraging us towards to continue such type of STTPs, and you are always continuous monitored how we are going to conduct all this program throughout that 3 slots STTP. Thank you very much, sir. Now we came to end of the session of STTP slot 3, AICT sponsored STTP. Now we came to vote of thanks. First, I would like to thank you. I would like to thank AICT people who given the permission of a 3 slot STTP on the on design and technology aspects of off-grid and grid connected of roof solar and bioenergy operation and maintenance. Firstly, I would like to thank you AICT authorities for giving the permission. This is that second slot. As usually we conducted first time in that some other technical topic. Now this is that second time AICT people given the chance to us. Thank you for their support. We wish you we wish the same thing from future also, sir. From AICT, we would like to conduct more and more STTPs like this with your support. And I would like to thank you all the speakers who give their valuable time towards to give their knowledge to the faculty and the research fellows who give that opportunity to us, especially all the speakers, Muthukumaran sir and S. Balaji sir, Doraiswamy Kamaraju sir, Hari Krishna sir, Prasanna Kumaran sir, especially one and all. We are very thank you, sir. You are very, in spite of your all busy schedule time, whenever we ask for you, you are given that time to us, and you explain that all the topics in a very systematic manner. Now I would like to thank our college management, especially secretary sir and the college management people. Always secretaries are always encouraging towards to conduct such type of STTPs. Thank you for your continuous support, sir. Now I would like to thank you, our principal madam and convener of this STTP. Thank you very much, madam. Whenever we are asking to conduct anything without asking anything, okay, you go ahead. I am supporting you for the department purpose, for the anything related to which is useful to us, and if it is useful to the students, always you supported without asking anything, madam. Thank you for your great support to us. We can continue with your support. We can continue this type of programs in future also, madam. Thank you very much. And I would like to thank our HOD, sir, Dr. Dilip Kumar, sir. Always you are whenever you are asking we are busy, sir, means okay, no problem, you go. You are giving some help to by using by some other faculty. Thank you, sir. Thank you. And at the same time, in spite of your as an busy schedule, you are continuously you are monitoring how that the people are telling that how that audience are there. You are continuously monitoring and you are continuous support. We are thank you, sir. Thank you so much. And I would like to thank especially the co-conveners of this STTP program, Mr. Mallikarjun and PV Sirisha, madam. Thank you very much, madam. You are continuously monitoring this program as a time-wise schedule. That means if you are telling that 10 a.m. means 10 a.m. in the afternoon, 2 a.m. means 2 a.m. You are continuously doing that great work towards the grand success of this STTP program. Thank you very much, both of you. You conducted in a well good disciplined manner. Thank you both. And I would like to thank our faculty member, triple faculty members, all of you who are supported to make a success, grand success of this STTP. And finally, I would like to thank the participants who are we are going to you are joined in time. and I hope you will understood if you listen and all the sessions clearly, you can get some more knowledge, I think. And I thank to our technical people, Mr. Rufus and Naresh sir. We thank you, sir, for your supporting towards any technical problems like that. And I would like to thank who encouraged us to conduct this type of programs, all the faculty of St. Peter's Engineering College, and for AO and system admin. If you are getting any internet problem, then also you supported a lot, sir. Thank you once again. Thank you one and all. Thank you. All stay home, stay safe. Thank you one and all. Thank you.
Will there be any feedback link or exam link?
Definitely, we will share that your examination link and that feedback link in the group, sir. And the certificates also we will provide within a due course. Definitely, we will. If you are having any queries, you can send that in the group so that we can resolve and we can give that certificates as per AICT norms. That means, and already we know that JICT given that 80% of attendance and 60% of examination marks, so that depending upon that, definitely we will issue the certificate for all the participants. Thank you one and all. Thank you.
Shall we leave the meeting, sir?
Yes sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Thank
the
you.
Exam link will be posted in the group, sir?
Posted in the group, sir. Yes sir.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.